Hello, welcome back to our session of the Profit and Cash Flow series. Avoiding your business finances might feel easier in the moment, but it's actually costing you a lot more money and more energy than you realize. So today, I'm walking you through how a single 60-minute session can completely transform the way you manage your cash flow and give you the clarity and the confidence you've been looking for. Does that sound good? Then let's break down exactly how the process works and why it is so powerful. So, cash flow, as we know, is the lifeblood of your business. As I say, cash flow keeps the lights on, profit keeps the business going. So you have to make sure that you can keep the lights on, but also that you can keep the business going long term as well. So what are these things? What do I do during this 60-second session, 60-minute session? And what can you do in 60 minutes to make sure that you're on top and in control of your finances? So the very first step is identifying the leaks. So we've been talking about this. We've been talking about this over the last couple of sessions around, again, why it is important, what is important, how to go about it. And today we're going through, okay, what does a 60-minute session look like? Oh my days, I'm stumbling here. So, what does it look like? Think of your cash flow like a bucket. I use this analogy a lot because it's so easy to visualize. So, think of your cash flow as a bucket. Hidden leaks like overspending, which we've spoken about, inefficiencies, operational ones mainly, which we've spoken about, and untracked subscriptions drain your profits without you realizing. You are not aware of this. It's sneaky, it's happening in stealth, it's ninja mode. And that is what is so dangerous about this, is because you are not aware of it. Okay, so examples of this is, again, unnecessary recurring expenses. So think of tools that you might be using, software you might be using, services that you might be using, or should I say that you're paying for but not using. So if you look anything that you've not used in the last 6 months, you you want to cut that out. You want to cut that out. Also, poor margins is another big one where leaks happen. So poor margins on certain products and services. You want to look, what is the profit margin on your products and services? Okay, and is it worthwhile the expense for what you're making in profit, what the margin is? You want to look at that as well. Then the last thing that I'll say as well in what leaks I mainly come across is, again, missed opportunities for cost optimization. And with that, what we're talking about here is, because, again, you're in firefighter mode, putting out fires and being very reactive, you miss opportunities for cost optimization, because things like your pricing, things like your negotiations and all that are not thought through in the view of financial planning and strategic planning. It's more in the here and now. So you want to, want to curb that a bit, and um, get more of those opportunities, being able to say more yes to more of those opportunities, being aware of those opportunities when they come along. So how do we do it in the profit hour? Well, we start out by mapping out what is coming in and what is going out, line by line. And the great thing about this is that you need to do it once. The very first time that you do it, you go line by line and you make sure that everything has been captured. Once you do it the first time, to the very smallest detail, to every single line, from then on, it's just a matter of reviewing it. So, as I say, we start out in our profit hour, we start out with what is coming in the business and what is going out of the business, line by line, to identify and find any leaks. I gave you an example in the previous session, and I said that I was able to find $1,000 worth of savings by doing this. And this is what within the first 15 minutes of the session. And we're talking 60 minutes here. So just 1/3 of the session, and we already found $1,000. So that is the power of this. That is the power of basically going line by line. Then what you want to do, and what I'll do with you if you, again, book yourself in for a profit hour, is then the process will bring you clarity in areas that you may have overlooked. Clarity is what allows you to be proactive. Clarity is what allows you to be able to see the wood for the trees. Clarity is what allows you to be able to leverage these opportunities that come your way. So that's why during this process, clarity is a main focus of mine when I'm doing the profit hour. Then what do we do next? We plug the leaks. So we've just gone through it and done line by line to identify any leaks. Now we plug it one by one. So once we find the leaks, the next step is to stop unnecessary outflow and optimize your spending. Once you're my full-on client, a spending plan is something that we do. Intentional about what you are doing with your money, intentional about the instructions you are giving your money. Money is a tool. Money is a servant. You have to tell it what you want it to do. If you don't, how does the saying go? The devil has work for idle hands. If your money is idle, you're not going to get the ROI you want, and it's just going to be, it floats away and does whatever it wants. And that is how you end up like, where did my money go? So want to be intentional. That's why a spending plan is so necessary when it comes to exactly what it is that you're doing with your money. So I basically say it's almost an instructional guide for your money. You're like, money, these are the things I need you to do. These are the things I expect you to accomplish. So once that is done, examples of this would be canceling unused tools and renegotiating your vendor contracts. They are negotiable, They're definitely negotiable. So what you want to do is make use of that. Have a conversation. You want to extend your payment terms so that, again, you have more cash flow within the business. And canceling unused tools is a no-brainer. Unused tools, unused subscriptions, unused services. You want to cancel them, okay? And you want to look as well as to how much of the tool service subscription you're actually using. So if I have a service that provides me 5 different things and I find myself only using one of that item, first of all, how is that impacting my bottom line? That is important, because maybe out of the 5, you might not be using the other 4, but that one thing is giving you an ROI that is out of this world. Then it is worth it, because then what you're spending on the tool is bringing back an ROI. But if it isn't, then you want to really think through, like, what am I doing with this tool? How is this tool serving me? How is this tool serving my business? And how is this tool serving my customers or clients? Okay. The next thing is prioritizing high margin offers. Prioritizing high margin offers. So initially, remember, we're looking at any poor margin products or services, and that is identifying it. Now we're trying to plug the leak. So you want to prioritize those services and those offers that give you the largest margin, or the highest margin, I would say, as well. And you want to cut down on the low margin products. Okay. And a lot of what I'm saying during this session is vanilla. I do not know your business. I do not know what your goals are. And I do not know what your cash flow state is. So sometimes it might be strategically relevant, strategically good to still push forward the low margin products. And it could be that the low margin products lead to the high margin offers. So it is part of what I could call your service offer, your product ladder, your value stream, whatever the terminology is. So whilst I'm saying that you prioritize high margin offers and cut low margin products, this is vanilla. You as the CEO of your business, and you know your business better than I do at this point in time, until obviously you book the profit hour, and I will know your business as well to be able to say, okay, this is what makes the most sense for the bottom line and in alignment with your values, with your goals. With your goals. I do speak a lot about values, and values usually is the bedrock of your goals. Making sure that these things are in alignment, your business, your goals, and your values. That is why I keep, saying values, value over again. But yes, so that is to say that although a lot of these are applicable to all businesses, there's a nuance based on your business and the state and the health of your finances within your business and where it is that you're taking your business. Because it could be strategically reasonable for you to still be pushing low margin products because, as I said, it leads to high margin offers. Make sense? Okay, perfect. And also, your data will tell you this. Maybe that $7 ebook that you're selling on Amazon leads to you being able to, sell, I don't know, 5, 10K consultancy opportunities. So you still pushing your Amazon ebook would make sense, although you might not necessarily be making any money on it and there's no profit margin on it, but it brings in 5, 10K consulting opportunities. Okay, or more than that. Again, this is just me spitballing here, but that is the kind of understanding that I need you to have when you're making this decision in regards to what you're prioritizing and what you're cutting back on. Then the next one is adjusting unnecessary marketing. Marketing is a big one. Ad spend is a big one in regards to where a lot of resources and a lot of funding is sunk into. And I'll say sunk because a lot of the times the marketing doesn't work and doesn't give you the ROI that you're expecting. And I gave you a lot more examples about that in the previous session. So if you've not seen the previous session, make sure you go back to that on my profile and you're able to see exactly what it is that I mean when I talk about, your marketing spend. So you want to cut down any unnecessary marketing spend that is not delivering ROI, return on investments. So how do we do it in the profit hour? Well, what I will do with you is identify the simplest. I love simplicity, I love clarity, and I love immediate results. So we will identify the simplest, most impactful changes you can make immediately to stop the bleeding. Immediate results. These sessions that I've been delivering, and this is the fourth one. So in this series, the reason I am doing is because I want to reach out to entrepreneurs and small business owners that are overwhelmed by scattered finances. Okay, struggling with cash flow and looking for quick insights to identify profit leaks and optimize for immediate results. That is what this series is for. This is who this series is for. So what we do in the profit hour is identify the simplest, most impactful changes to make sure that the bleeding stops. And here we're talking about profit and cash flow bleeding. All right. Then after that, so we started off by first identifying the leaks. Then second, we plug the leaks. And during all of this, anything we put in place, we make sure that it is sustainable and it is long term. I generally don't do one hit wonders. I do not do the albums of the summer. I do albums of the decade, you know. Let's go platinum with your business. Let's go platinum with the business. So after we plug the leaks, what we will do next then is create actionable insights. This is my favorite thing to do. Absolute favorite. And I'll tell you why. There is so much data in your business. There is a vein. If you're, I wanted to say if you're into mining, but that is because my kids play Minecraft and watch Minecraft. And when they find the little diamond blocks, it's usually a vein of diamonds. And in the mining space, whether it's mining for gold, mining for emeralds, whatever gem they might be mining for, they use the lingo of finding a vein. And usually, finding a vein means that you found that little almost stream of gold, okay, or emerald or rubies or whatever it is. It's just finding that line. You know, you might be digging, 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 digging and not find it, but when you find a vein, it's great. So, although I've never mined in my life, I've never been to a mining site in my life. I am borrowing their terminology here. So, what it is with actionable insight when you're leveraging your data is that you find a vein of gold, literal gold. So, what we're trying to do here is get those actionable insights out of your data to make sure that we find those cash flows and we find those profits. Yeah. So stopping the leaks is important, but the real transformation happens when you start planning for long term growth. Remember, all my people in my world, they're looking to grow and scale. If you're looking to grow and scale, you must have a positive cash flow. You must be making a profit. A good profit margin, the better. And all of those things are things that we can work on. But in the profit hour itself, we make sure that we give actionable insights. We get to the point where we create actionable insights, and this is specific to your business in regards to, you know, your long-term planning for growth. So if you're doing this yourself and not necessarily, you know, if you're a DIYer and you do not need, you know, expert support in doing this and building this out for you, then some of the examples that you want to look at is again pinpointing where to invest for maximum ROI. Those are the kind of actionable insights that we're talking about. Also, creating a cash flow management system that works for you. I'm highlighting, capitalizing, putting in, you know, flashlights works for you. Once something works for you, you're able to maintain it, it's sustainable, and it's long term. So you want to put in a cash flow management system that works for you. And then the final thing is building confidence to make data driven financial decisions. And when you're confident in the decisions that you're making, it puts a pep in your step in regards to how you go about your business, that even your clients, even those that you're meeting and networking with, will feel that shift in your energy because you're just more confident. Okay. Even when things might not necessarily go as planned, because you had the data, you based your decision on the data, you have contingencies in place to be able to buffer that. What tends to happen when you're when you're reacting, let's put it like that, is that you end up, you know, spinning around. You're in firefighter mode, you're in high alert, that the opportunity to be able to step back and looking at other things is not there. So you want to be able to then have that confidence. Confidence and clarity goes hand in hand. So that is what we do. So what we do then in the profit hour, by the end of the session, you have 2 to 3 clear, actionable steps tailored to your business to help you grow sustainably. It's all about sustainability. There is no point, and I'm telling you, I've seen this so many times where there is this speed to scale. Have you heard of scaling fast? We talk about fail fast, but there's scaling fast as well. Scaling fast leads to burnout. Scaling fast leads to cash flow issues. Scaling fast leads to overwhelm because you've taken on more than your business can chew. So I want to make sure that everything that we put in place, it's sustainable. It's all about sustainable finance, baby. So that is what we want to do, and that's what we want to put in place. So moving us on then to the third element, why this works. So the fantastic thing, I don't stretching things out, and stretching things out doesn't work to your benefit at all. It doesn't. Usually having things and doing things in quick, like HIT. So if you're into exercise, you probably know the HIT exercises, right? What does it stand for again? High intensity something training. And the whole point of it is that you do something really, really intense for 30 seconds, and then you chill for like a minute, or you do less intense for like a minute, and then go really hard and fast for like a minute, and then again, chill again. So what I usually do, which tends to work, is go hard, but go frequent. So rather than, sitting down and saying, okay, every month I'm going to put down 2 hours to do this, why not just do 15 minutes weekly, a minute daily? Hits. Let's do some hit finance. So that's why. So why does this work then? So the 1 hour power hour, as I call it, it works because it isn't about, again, redoing all of your business. It's not about ripping. Okay, I'm live. It's not about going over the top with it. We're not overhauling your entire business. That is not what we're doing. And definitely, we're not doing it overnight either. It's making sure that you're making small, focused changes that create big results. Small changes, big results. That is what we're focusing on here for the profit hour. As you can see, all the steps that I've taken you through in regards to what you can do in 60 minutes are all small changes. But I cannot emphasize it enough in regards to the kind of results you would see in your business immediately as well as long term. That is the importance of, bite-sized financial moves. As I say, smart money moves. Then most of my clients walk away feeling lighter, more confident, and also ready to tackle their finances with clarity. Because it's basically all out there. It's all on paper in regards to where you're at, where you want to go, and how to get there. Point blank and period. No two ways about it. And there's simple little things that you can do right now. The whole overwhelm and doing, big transformational projects and all that is not what we're doing here. And it's definitely not the space within our profit hour. So yesterday, was it yesterday? Anyway, I shared with you a client of mine, Afromusa, and we had a profit hour, a strategic profit hour at that. And she has two businesses. So she's a DJ, but also she provides hair care services, consultancy, and products as well. And the great thing about her is that she had so many plans for both businesses, and it's quite amazing as well. But like the combination of the two businesses, DJing and hair care. I know, right? Those are the kind of amazing people that I work with. And she came to me again, wanting a slight, reset in regards to her finances so that she's able to then start family planning. That was again setting up her business in a way that she can then, carry on with family planning. So what we did there definitely is these steps that I mentioned to you here is first of all went through all of her statements line by line to see if there were any leaks there and identifying any leaks within that space. So looking at subscriptions, looking at tools and so forth. I looked at all the systems that she used within her business and compared it as well to the things that are being paid for. So I could definitely tell you within that space, we're able to, cut back on some subscriptions because again, there was duplication of tools. So there were tools that were overlapping. So we're able to, use one tool rather than paying for two tools. Then plug in the leaks. I've already mentioned how we started plugging the leaks there. Is again getting rid of tools that were providing duplicate services for what that was required in the business. And also I looked at her pricing strategy. So whilst we're looking at the different products and services that she was offering, I looked also at her pricing strategy in regards to what was her profit margin, what was her market share, because that was important to understand, okay, how much of a market is there for this? And the great thing is that in the black hair space, is it trillion now? But definitely it's $1 billion market. So she was safe in that space in regards to a space that has high value. So looking at that, looking at her positioning for her pricing really, really helped in regards to improving her profit margin. So took her through the profit first methodology, where we make sure that every single thing that she does is bringing in a profit because we think about the profit first. Okay, that is the whole point of the profit first model, is that we're making sure that we are bringing in profit for every single sale that we're doing. So to be able to do that, we have to make sure that the pricing is right as well. And then the other elements of profit first is also making sure that you're aware of what your operational expenses. We spoke about that and operational inefficiencies. So looking at what her operational expense was, looking at how much tax she should be putting away per sale, so that we're aware exactly, okay, this revenue is coming in, this amount is taken out for taxes. Then regularly paying herself. That was a big takeaway for her, having a plan in place where she was able to pay herself a salary on a regular basis. I can't tell you how many business owners out there are making sure that they can make payroll and can barely pay themselves. So you're paying everybody else, but you're not paying yourself. So her being able to have a plan in place where she can regularly pay herself was a massive win. And we're still in our 1 hour power session. So that was an amazing thing. And then being able to put money away for taxes, so taxes don't come by surprise no more, was such a relief. Peace of mind, confidence. Remember when I was saying peace of mind, confidence, clarity? These are some of the things that lead to that peace of mind, confidence, clarity. Okay, so the thing with Afromusa was that after the end of the session, she had a clear plan. What was being cut off, she knew what it was. The plan in regards to, okay, these are the allocations for how much you're paying yourself, how much is there for operational expenses, how much is there that is coming in revenue, how much is being put away for taxes. Right there. So there was no going away or anything of that. the great thing about putting this kind of financial control system in place is that you can automate it. In the previous session, I talked about putting things in place when you're level headed, so that when there's a lot of emotions taking place, when you're in the rush of a busy season, you're not making any emotional, passion, gut driven decisions because you have a system in place. Okay. And when you're doing things when you're level headed, we've already run through the scenarios of the potential things that could happen. In every cash flow forecast that I do, I always go, that Western movie, The Good, Bad, and the Ugly. So we have our, okay, our realistic, okay, this is good. Then we have our inspirational, aspirational. This is fantastic. This is lush. Okay. And then we have our oops. So those are the three. We have our good, our better, and our best in regards to scenarios. And that allows you to have a certain amount of comfort and also a certain amount of proactiveness when we are doing the cash flow projections. That is to say, by the end of the session, Musa was able to generate an additional £5,000 out of one 60-minute session. Within the profit hour, we get the 60-minute session where we go through it, and then later on we have a 30 minutes follow-up. Not immediately after the implementation, because the important thing about the profit hour is the implementation, is the immediate results. So when we come back, whether it's a week, 2 weeks later, for the follow-up, you've got your wins, and then we're talking about, okay, where do we go now for sustainable growth? What are the next steps? All right. So when we're talking about creating actionable insights, which I mentioned to you earlier, what are the 2 or 3 actionable insights that you can take away from your data? Okay, so what you want to do or what you want to think about, let me give you some things to think about here. So do you feel like that there is like a cash flow leak that you can't quite pinpoint? Because to be fair, you do already have a feeling that something isn't quite right. It's just then being able to pinpoint it. It's then being able to identify it so that you can plug it. And that's where the gray area comes in. Okay. Another thing that I wanted to ask yourself again is, if you could fix one financial stress point today, what would it be? These are all just prompts now to get you thinking in regards to what you want to cover in your 60 minutes session. Yeah, food for thought there. Definitely food for thought. So, as I said, this is not about an overhaul. Not at all. This is about those actionable snippets that are going to give you immediate results. So, within 60 minutes, what we will do is identify where your money is leaking, plug those leaks with quick, practical changes that are sustainable. Yeah, and also create a plan to maximize your cash flow moving forward. It's all about maximization, because a lot of the times, a lot of my clients have already mastered that on top of bringing in the money, they can bring in the money. That is not where the issue lies. The issue usually lies with keeping that money. The issue lies with getting up to the last dollar out of that money. Okay? The issue is usually then the sustainability of certain strategies that they've put in place. So that is where I come in. Okay. So the best part here is that you do not have to do this alone. Hello, I'm here. You can totally book a profit hour with me. So if this sounds like something that you've been needing, then my profit hour is the next step. Is the next step for you to be able to bring that clarity, to be able to bring that confidence, to be able to bring that sustainable, immediate results for your business. So DM me profit, and then you can get any of the spots that are available. Remember, I opened only 5 spots, for the week. When did I start? I started midweek. So it's probably midweek next week now. But still, when I say week, it's 7 days. That's all I'm saying from whenever I started. So those spots are available. Okay. Don't wait until January to fix your cash flow. Please don't wait. Okay. It will cost you more than you realize. I mean, I don't want to bore you with giving you a formula for opportunity, how to calculate opportunity costs, but I can tell you for a fact that if you do not address your cash flow issues now, it's it's costing you 110%. It is costing you. So want to tackle it now, not tomorrow, now. And to be able to do that, either follow the steps I mentioned to you in this session or book yourself a profit hour and we will go through it together. Okay? So, with that said, those are the 4 things that we covered during this week in the 4 sessions. Okay? What we looked at was, again, why there's profit leaks happening, why businesses lose profit during the holiday season, what hidden profit leaks is costing you thousands. We did that. And also today, how a 60-minute session can transform your business finances. And I've taken you through how Aframusa was able to do that with her profit hour and how much she was able to save right there and then, even before we've gone through and put any, long-term strategic plans in place. So if this definitely sounds like you, if this is where you want to be, if you want to be that business owner that goes into 2025, clear, confidence, with sustainable strategies for your finances in place, with a strong positive cash flow, then make sure you book the profit hour. DM me profit or go to my profile on the featured section and you're able to book yourself in immediately. Okay, with that done, I am going to bid you farewell until the next session. Any questions, make sure that you drop it in the comments below and I'll answer you when I see the questions, or potentially I might jump on and do another live with the answers for you. With that said, enjoy the rest of your day and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.